Man, we're back with construction every day here on the channel and we're back in full swing, right? Haha boy, I found the intense one, folks. A Jubilee system construction. Big guy. I'll tell you that at first I felt sorry for the protagonist, the 2M guys there. Give a shout out in the middle of the video just to identify who it is. I got the reference, but it's good here, folks. It's just at the beginning that I get a bit depressed because damn, the Jubilee is smaller than my finger, man. What the heck is this here? Starts off like this, pretty standard, right? Talking about the protagonist's life, thinking he'd have a girlfriend and get into university. But guess what? At 23 years old, the guy was how? Yeah, like a big virgin, right? Just needed to record videos for YouTube to say he was a virgin in life. Dude, and with that said, the teacher had just finished explaining the lesson, man. But look, he thought, stonks, damn, I have something I can do since I don't have a girlfriend. Look who he has by his side, guys, man. Look at this beauty here of respect, beautiful, with little glasses on top of it. I'd marry a woman like that too. You're crazy, dude. That's your friend called Nan Ryan, something like that. But who cares? I don't really know her name, right? Basically, as far as he remembers, she used to play games with him, guys. They got pretty close after school because when he got home, he would just play around things. As a child, which was standard, right? He would return home peacefully, and now he spends his days living next to her. And of course, even if he doesn't get a girlfriend, guys, his thought is, damn, she's my friend, right? She probably has a huge crush on me. Probably right, trust me. If every crazy guy thinks this way, every friend he has is going to think they are married in this damn thing. Then he goes over and calls her, right? Then she's like, how? Like that, huh? I didn't say anything to you because you're going like that, you're going crazy, man. Pay attention, you're in the middle of the classroom. But no, he talks to her with his hand on his head, all embarrassed here. Hey, you don't want to go to the cyber cafe to talk with me, to maybe go out? And but on the other hand, she gets really upset saying, Binay, what do you mean, dude, yaman, and you want to go to the cyber cafe again? You're always going to the cyber cafe and now you want to go there again? No, let's go somewhere else. Then I thought, she definitely already went crazy not wanting to go out with him anymore, right? But no, guys, she were giving you a chance, you know. There he is, right, saying that she has a better idea for them to go out, you know, talking with that cute face of hers here, that they should go to his place for a drink because today she felt like having something to drink, right? It was already started too strangely to be true. Virgin. Hey, you know how a virgin guy talks. Then he says, my house. Wait, I think it's messy there, but we can go. She even mentions maybe he wanted to go to the cyber cafe, but whatever. Obviously, he changes the subject and goes, no, you're more important than the cyber cafe. Trust me, no game is more important than you. It even makes you want to play because when you do, you forget about the girl in the time. Am I telling the truth? It's true. But anyway, again she asks, are you going to drink with me or not? Then he answers saying yes, he actually wanted to drink with someone, and of course he can drink with her. I don't know what, just small talk. She thanks him, and finally his heart started beating harder, right? Because you know she's his friend and he thought she had a crush on him, but she suddenly went crazy on him, you know, like literally put it on the table and asked to measure it. Look at him again. And today maybe it was his destiny, guys, but now it was already nighttime. They were at the protagonist's house, man. She was already totally drunk there, talking to him, clinging to your arm, saying she is frustrated, guys. Apparently the husband, boyfriend, I don't know what the guy was to her, cheated on her, you know. He wasn't with her anymore, cheated on the girl. And he was trying to advise her. He was completely drunk, actually. I said it all wrong. In this mess too, right? Congratulations to me. And she was labeled, guys, as a VDA just because the guy cheated on her, even though it wasn't her fault, you know. She was frustrated, she was sad, she was angry, and apparently her ex-boyfriend cheated on her with another girl who was very prettier than her, right? I don't know what girl is prettier than this one, right? But if the guy is saying, I believe it for sure. And she felt like trash next to the protagonist, and because of that she went there to drink, to be able to ask for advice from our wise protagonist, who probably has a 2 centimeter Jubilee, right? Spoiler, hold on, I can talk spoiler, no. Then he wonders if the situation would be different, guys. If back then when he joined the army and now returned, he would have married her. When he returned again and went to meet her, he returned to the school. He looked at her and she caught his attention, right? Then he was like a yes or a low, and he asked who she was, you know, because he didn't recognize her. It's been a long time since he came back and saw her face. Then she said something about her name being something like Dehayon, something from like, right, saying it would be sad because he doesn't remember her because they bathed together, they were kids, you know. And then the following thought came to her mind. I remember that girl. Well, I remember her. I saw her last week or whatever, all that stuff. You remember her like that, but life is like that, right? We do something we don't want to do, but we have to do it because because we have to, right? I don't know if you guys understood, but I also understood. The truth is that now what he needs to do is stay by her side, right, guys? Because she's his friend. He's going to give her his shoulder and show that he can be a real boyfriend to her, right, guys? He even had a shot of cachaça because she was prepared, right?
Because you know, man and woman in the same house, right? It doesn't work, right, my friend? As the wise philosopher used to say. But the question is, can he make her talk about something other than her ex-boyfriend? Guys, the poor thing, she needs to change the subject a bit, otherwise she won't stop being sad. Then she goes and calls his attention, right? Because he was acting very bizarre, smiling, lost in thoughts that are, you know, totally out of the box. And she asked if by any chance he heard what she was saying. Then he says yes, she was talking about her ex-boyfriend, that he was a jerk. But no, she says no, 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 no. She even gets nervous saying that she talked about something else now, nothing to do with her ex. This conversation even changed, that telling him it's something else more interesting, son. And he asks, what is it? And when he finally leaned in to say, she says a thank you. He didn't understand anything, but with her all cute face, man, who cares why she's saying thank you? Just that I would already accept, right? Saying, oh, I couldn't trust anyone else but you. You are my beloved. You are a something. Man, I'm telling you, this girl is too good to be true, dude. There's no way this shit is true, man. But anyway, right, that tells the story. He's saying that never in life he will abandon her, right? Then he thought like, man, I can't believe she said that to me. I don't know the... What? Then he got all confident and put his hand on her head, stroking it, saying that, well, he's an idiot, right? And the guy who dated her is an idiot even. Because how could he leave such a beautiful and wonderful girl, man? My friend, things were too easy to be true. Listen to the virgin. What is he saying, right? She already hooked up on his shirt, started pulling, and gave him a big kiss on the mouth, right? Like, she did that, and he was like, what are you doing from nothing, dude? Oh, it didn't make sense for her to do that, right, guys? But of course, our protagonist isn't going to refuse anything here, right, man? Then he asked if she was really doing that because she wanted to or because of the influence of the liquor she just drank. But then she didn't answer what he said and simply asked again if he would abandon her or not. And he said, no, I won't abandon you. And then in this whole I won't abandon you thing, the shirt was already up, dude. And then he looked at her and asked, wait a minute, what are you doing here? I'm not understanding, yeah? There was no need to even ask what you were doing. Look, the kid's mouth, all drooled up with his mouth open there. Are you just going to watch? Come on, damn it. Yeah, son, it's said and done. The guy went with his little hand like this, you know, because she said if he didn't come forward, she would put the jabuticaba back inside because no one wants to put the jabuticaba back. He faked it. Hey, man, I'm telling you, this is where the story starts to get more interesting. It might not seem like it, but it's here, you know? Oh, the utter embarrassment I felt for this protagonist. Dude, oh my god, man. You know what's the funniest part? Look at her face, man. When the guy goes and pulls out the jubilee, she got all anxious, right? But when she saw the size of the guy's jubilee, man, I don't even need to say how big it is, right? Because her face showed she was shocked enough and disappointed. Oh, no better, man. Holy crap, man, how does the guy smoke that stuff, dude? Look at her expression, you know, and the guy just keeps thinking he's amazing. I'm the best of the best. I'm Kid Bangas, you know? I'm the coolest guy in this world. How, right? How? I don't know if you understood. Since she's the protagonist's friend, she wasn't going to be such a jerk to say it to his face and negotiate. So she thought, damn, I'll do this. I'll try to stall him and act crazy and say I'm going home, right? What's this, man? She literally starts and says she's going home. But guys, look at this. Damn here, dude. The kid goes there and slaps her in the mouth, you know? Acting all tough, saying, no, shut up. I'm going to finish this mess. Shut up. But man, fuck. Damn, the humiliation here goes way beyond, man. I'm holding back. I swear to you, I'm holding back not to laugh. Look at the face she makes, man. When he slapped her, she quickly pulled away and said, are you going crazy, kid? Are you losing it? Do you think you're nailing it? Then she couldn't hold back, right? He had to say it because he acted crazy. Then she got up and he was asking why she was leaving, right? Since she was the one who started everything. Because right? It wasn't me. I didn't do anything. However, he was asking her to wait a bit so they could talk and was asking why she was in such a hurry, but he wasn't saying anything. Guys, after putting the works back there, man, she grabbed her little glasses, right? Put them back on her face and said, I need to talk about something with you, man. I don't know how to tell you this. He even asked why she was leaving again. Then she asks and looks at his face. Do you really want to know why I'm going home? If I tell you, you will never want to live this life again? Right? So she thinks I'm going to try to tell you, and since I can't avoid it, my friend, come here, and I'll whisper in your ear what's happening inside here. Your jubilee is very small We're talking about 2 CME there, guys. 2, maybe even less, you know? The kid got into trance. I don't know if it's because he never heard anyone say that the thing was too small, right? Or if by any chance he simply heard it from her friend's mouth. And even better, man, better, actually worse, right? She even gave a brief explanation saying it's like he's going in and stopping and going. So, I don't know. Did you guys understand? Anyway, it doesn't matter much. Then he was even going to yell at her, getting mad, getting pissed, saying it was you who started it and all. So she acted crazy, slammed the door in his face, because she was the one who provoked it, right? But she didn't want to listen, especially since the part where it didn't work out was his fault. That's all that matters, you know? No, her part doesn't matter. Only his part. From him. And how many days have passed since then, guys? You have no idea. From the day she left your house saying to his face that your jubilee was too small, man, he doesn't know how long he's been at your house. He even remembers that they're at school, right? He was talking to the school neighbors, the teacher was explaining about the size of the jubilee, and a guy asked if 11 centimeters was little. Then the protagonist thought, oh well, 11 centimeters is a lot, right? It's not small, but everyone knows that, right? You don't even need to say anything, right? And the teacher, with all the grace in the world, the lovely teacher here said, guys, kids can relax. 5 is enough to cause damage, you know? So she told everyone not to worry. And nowadays our protagonist is frustrated, punching the bed, punching the wall, pissed off because it doesn't work, man. How can the teacher say that the thing, 11? 5 centimeters is enough? Then comes a little phrase from her saying, hey, I said it was enough, but I didn't say it was good, you know? It's enough, but it wasn't good. Do, in short, learn something from version. Neither always what you think it is. That's what it truly is, you know? Didn't get it. Me neither. Just act crazy and keep watching the video. I didn't get it either. After that, he took the xylophone, man, and started writing there how to increase the size of the jubilee, you know? Because damn, it was frustrating, huh? I'll tell you, even I'm scared here now. I'm gonna grab a ruler there, man, because right. Who knows? Then he sees a video of a lady, who is a specialist in this case, right? Saying that the size cannot be easily increased with surgery. In other words, it's not so easy to enlarge the jubilee. Then he got even sadder because when he heard that it's not something you can just increase, dude, he was like, no, I can't believe it. And even if it was possible, the cost would be crazy expensive, right? No one is going to ask you for that kind of wife. No. Unless you were to live on the street and have a massive, but live on the street, the famous wild pinky. And since there was no solution, man, he got up crying, shouting around the room, and he will continue for the rest of his life with something smaller than the girl's finger. Oh, and I didn't mention it, but his friend told him straight to his face that the guy's was the size of her pinky finger, dude. Damn, when she said that, I burst out laughing. The situation was so crazy that he even went to the kitchen. Look at this, man, went to the kitchen, opened your kitchen drawer there, man, took a knife, look, saying there's only some reason to keep living. Look at this, man. Do not do this at home, guys. It's not because you've got 2 centimeters there that you're going to go crazy and cut your neck thinking that, right, there's no reason to live. Although I agree with him in a way. I mean, no, I don't agree. The thing was even shining like that, crazy enough to slide down the throat, right? Because, right, there's no point in continuing to live if none of this is going to change. If I don't have a big jubilee, I can't keep living. But the question he asked himself is, will it hurt? Of course it will hurt. It's not the kind of thing he should do. Is he really going to commit suicide just because the jubilee is small? It doesn't make sense. For that, I am not going to continue my life because the jubilee is small? Then he even considers that if he committed suicide, a woman journalist would appear on TV saying something like, a boy of so many years killed himself because he couldn't accept that his organ was small. And that would be kind of bad, right? Imagine appearing in the news. We don't know if he would be able to see it after he died, right? But what if, right? It would be annoying, right, man? Appearing on television at year end. And after this, he didn't even want to end it all or just stay there doing nothing, because both possibilities would be bad. Imagine everyone finding out that the guy's thing is 2 centimeters, man. Isn't there anything else he can do, guys? Isn't there anything else he can do? And now, guys, your mind started to tremble. Right here, we think of the... What? Oh, something's going to appear here, right? Something that will help the guy grow his business because he's the protagonist. Huh, wow. Virgin predicted the future here now, my friend. System window. Out of nowhere, the system window appeared in front of the guy, calling him by name there. Just out of nowhere like that, right? Really out of nowhere. Out of nowhere indeed. The guy wasn't understanding anything anymore about what was being said there. Out of nowhere, a little sparkle in front of you. The system window, man. The system window was telling him in a very inviting way, right? Saying that this is the opportunity for you to increase small things in your life. Damn. going crazy like that, right? And asked if by any chance he wanted to participate in the game, right? If he could answer yes or no. The kid wasn't understanding anything anymore, man. But this would be, guys, this would be the famous system to increase the jubilee. I'd want one of those too, huh? If this ever shows up for you, you can be sure that your life changes. After all that, a week ended up passing. He couldn't look at the face of the girl who was his school friend anymore, right? Especially after she told him that the guy's jubilee was literally smaller than her pinky finger. Damn, man, do you have any idea how big a pinky finger is? Little finger. I won't even say anything else about this crap. Anyway, all I know is he hasn't seen her since then, right? And she was looking for him. She was even a little worried because, you know, how is the protagonist doing? Because she was drunk that day and didn't want to say that kind of thing to him, but the way he was paying anyway. On top of her, right? There was nothing to do, damn. Just had to speak the truth right away. She even considered dude what he had done. He probably took a rope, put it around his neck, and dragged upward. Even though in this part she was almost right. If it took 2 more tiny minutes, man, he would have already had the rope around his neck. Huh? No kidding. He was already in the isekai there. Then since no one is really paying attention in class, the teacher shouted saying that we're going to start the class and stuff. The girl started yelling, "No!" And the teacher felt awkward asking, "Hey, it seems like someone isn't attending my class. Aren't you paying attention? Are you focused on random things?" And the protagonist's friend Yon told the teacher it was a life and death situation, and suddenly, dude, at lightning speed, she got up, left the classroom to go to the protagonist's house to save him, right? The other girl here who is really pretty, I don't know who she is, but oh my god, with short hair, wow. Guys, comment who would stay and marry this girl here. I would already be in line. I would put her in the basement stored. There. Oh, for later. But in summary, she went to the protagonist's house. Not sure if it's a house or an apartment, but anyway, right? She went in there. Running. And she got there. Started pointing her finger already, right? Thinking, man, I can't believe it. Is he really going to kill himself? Because I said Jubilee was small and she already went. Rang the bell, calling him to see if he would answer. Then he asked, who is it? Apparently, he was alive, right? If he asked who it is, the guy wasn't gone yet. Then she said it was her. Open the door, it's me. That was the problem. When she said it was her, she remembered, oh, I told him things, right? Then she started explaining from outside, all sweaty, that she hasn't seen him in class for days, and that wasn't what she wanted. Nonsense, you know? It was just a spur of the moment thing. Like it or not, let's consider that she's his friend since childhood. So in a way, she has a certain attachment to him. She won't let the guy kill himself like that, commit self-harm, there's no way, right? And as they should drink and reconnect and make everything right, she asked if he wants to have a cachaça, but he doesn't answer her. Guys, then she starts banging even more on the door, asking why he wasn't answering her. Could it be he already had the rope around his neck? Damn, the girl was already imagining that the guy was being suffocated. I'm going to die. And telling him to stop with that, saying they should talk. Then he didn't say anything to her and just opened the door very slowly, you know? Dude, the guy had changed, folks. When she took a look at his face, the guy was frowning, saying, oh, you can come in. I'm not gonna say anything to you. No, come in. I'm blah. Good Sasata. Yeah, she felt awkward, right? She went in saying, good, okay, since you told me to come in, I'll come in, no problem, right? Then he locked us up door gently. Then I thought, well, they're going to have a calm conversation and it will end. Then she entered awkwardly saying, so was he okay? So what are you doing here? Then he says, so you really don't remember anything that happened yesterday? Then she asked what happened yesterday. Dude, the best thing you can do is pretend to be clueless on the day things go wrong, you know? But that doesn't work very well in Brazil. Don't try doing that here, right? Pretending you don't owe that guy when you really do. But when she took a closer look at the protagonist's face, guys, it wasn't just that he was changed. He was really focused on the deep down, man. Look at his expression, dude. The guy actually even asked her, questioning why she only worried about him now after a whole freaking week had passed. What if he had put a rope around his neck? The guy got so pissed off that he went crazy and cornered her. Almost slapped her, right? She asked why he was doing that, but is he really crying? And yes, exactly. He was about to argue, but telling her, don't you remember what you said to me? Felipe Chamelere, kid, you're tense. You understand me? The kid started crying again. She went and grabbed his face, right? Apologizing, saying that day was a mistake. She shouldn't have done that, you know, guys. Said it to his face. Then he asked, what do you mean it was a mistake? Then do you know what he does? He tells her, alright, since it was a mistake, let's do again what happened that day. Dude, when he said just like that, let's do it again. She asked what? What do you mean? Do it again? Jubilee of less than 2 centimeters. I don't want it. I really don't want it. What's that? I don't want it. I really don't want it. She didn't go there to do that, right? But there was no turning back, man. He already chose to kiss her right on the lips, acting crazy, right? And since she didn't want anything bad to happen to him again, she just, you know, left it. She's a friend. And you know what's the funniest part? It's that after the big kiss she gave on his lips, he kissed hers, right? Yeah, she realized that the guy was pretty good even with the lip work. The guy was good with the tongue style, right? The dude was crazy about this skill. Then he asks if she wants to redo what happened that day. She was asking why he wants to do it, but she was thinking yes, saying that she can't, man. It's lame, right, guys? You lying blatantly, is it? It's complicated. But man, to break the swagger she had, you know what he did? Took the Jubilee out, and with two just like that, two little ones, it went over 20, man. Damn, dude, what the hell is this system window? Someone send me the link to this system window because I want to know too. It's huge. Then she even asked if by any chance she got restless there, and come on, aren't you going to do what I'm saying? She was embarrassed, didn't know what to tell him, but she says no, I can't. Then he asked, you really don't want to do it, sweetie? She was trying to explain that she didn't mean that day, and I don't know what else. And anyway, she turned her face to the other side, telling him that he has to promise to go to class tomorrow. That's all she wants to know, you know? But it's exactly because of him, man. She looks down, like, look again, you know? Gives that little look like that. And remembers that the thing smaller than her pinky finger, the thing turning into a thing of, I don't know, 50 square meters of 500 kilometers per hour. And I don't know what, damn. Of course, right? She was already like, how? Let me lower my shorts quickly to check something just to see. That's all. It worked, right? It worked. Look, the glasses even fell on the ground, man. Poor glasses, almost broke. This thing is expensive, huh? Don't let it fall. Okay. And the next moment she said, don't pull out or there will be 2 boys and a kid and you'll have to buy. It didn't work, man. It was already inside. Nothing more could be done. And then he said, relax. Okay, relax. I'll take responsibility. Don't worry. I won't go buy cigarettes if the kid is born. I'll take care of it. Damn, the guy showed off now, huh? Even though it doesn't seem like it, but put on an act. But hold on a moment, man. Now we have to figure out how the hell this guy ended up overnight with a bump bigger than my forehead, right? Because there's no way. It's impossible. Although it's possible, yes, if you have the system window. But aside from the window, there's no way. Then he remembers that last night, man, the system window appeared to him, right? Asking if by any chance he wanted to accept a little game there to be able to make small things in your life grow. Right? Small houses, small things, and he thought, man, I'm going to accept. Anyone would accept this thing here, no matter, even if you didn't know he's illiterate. If you were illiterate, you would accept this thing here. There's no way, man, you wouldn't refuse. And all of this happened in a sequence of fraction. Does it need an explanation? It doesn't. Yeah, this system grew overnight. Who cares, right? But there is an explanation. Hang on. He remembers that normally in novels, right, chubby characters who don't have much good looks, this system appears. Guys who suddenly have all the intellect in the world and what did I say here? Did I say everything wrong? Anyway, it doesn't matter, right? The system appears and the guy already gets super buff. This is a story where he can rise in life, guys. When this appears, everything changes. But this happened differently for him. Instead of having superpowers, flying with Harry Potter's magic wand is not like that. For him, it's Jubilee. The thing is, Jub, I'll also tell you, I would give up crazy powers to have the Jubilee, right? No, not to have the Jubilee. No, Jubilee. I don't want it. No, I want the power to increase the Jubilee. No, you understood, whatever. And now he went completely nuts, man. After he saw the window appear in front of him, dude, he couldn't believe it. However, of course, after remembering our beautiful school friend, right, he kept thinking, what if, you know, what if? Just what if? Now that's because he remembers exactly how she looked at him that time. The first time she said that the Jubilee was smaller than her little finger, smaller than the little roof. Pinky, you know? Saying it was too small, right? The disgusted look she had on her face about him. Since it wouldn't hurt to try, he clicked accept. And obviously, man, a whole bunch of system windows appeared afterward, right? Saying, welcome player, tutorial mission is starting, and stuff like that. A complete bug, right? But he will be the main character of the system. That's all that matters. I'll tell you that I thought the system window needed some kind of tutorial mission more interesting, but man, his tutorial mission was literally to just sit in front of the PC and go solo, dude. What kind of tutorial mission is this, my friend? My god, this tutorial is all wrong, right? And after a while, he looked at the window and wondered how much was left to complete the tutorial mission. What tutorial mission? Easy. Huh? And guess what? After a while, he managed to complete the tutorial mission. And what was the mission? Last for 30 seconds. And he completed it. Man, 30 seconds, I'll tell you, huh? It's already a podcast. 5 is already awesome, but 30, man, a success-making machine. And since he had leveled up, right, the system said soon that worlds started popping up in his face, level up and whatnot. And by the way, he didn't sleep that night, okay? Because it was just one day that he met up with your schoolmates. So, you know, the guy totally focused on increasing the jubilee, yeah, right? And after about 5 days there, after the first 5 that he got and started playing this little game of the system, man, he managed to become very powerful, huh? He completed missions and leveled up to a very crazy, you know, just to give you an idea. There was the whole precise table there, size 50, control 7, thickness thickness 8, you know, and he increased more in what? The size, man. He tried to balance it, but the size is where he invested the most. There, with the percentage, I won't lie, I would have done the same stupid thing, right? And he would get so frustrated with the size issue, dude, that every time he put a point on size there, he remembered your schoolmate who would say to him just like this, oh, it's smaller than my little finger, man, so stop with that and go do something else. Your life isn't about this. Then he'd get mad at all that, and every time he'd take the points and put everything size, he'd just click on the size thing and screw it. And now he starts to realize that the missions are quite different from each other, folks. You know why?
There are missions like clean the room before anything else. Room clean, 0 of 1. Like, what's the point? No, why don't you just give me the size right away, you know? Because the guy wants to order me to clean my room, man. Ah, you really want to have a big fight with me? Want to order me to clean the room? He's even embarrassed by all this because the mission is so stupid that he can't take it, okay? There was a mission he did there, man. To give you an idea, it was 6 times. 6 times in a row, 6 times in a row. By the 6th time, he was already catching up with everything, right? Forget it, man. Almost didn't go to the hospital because it's a system, it's Monora, just believe. Yes, see, which is right, but there are also simple missions, right? Where he can level up and also unlock skills. Yeah, do you think that's wrong? Think that the little system does not have any skills? I do not know what skill that is. One of them is to look directly at a person, you know? That very intense stare. Not to mention some other things that he has as a skill too, right? Which to me doesn't make much sense. Just being big is important enough, right? But the skill is there for us to use too. And there's one of the skills which is the skill without borders, guys. A passive skill, not a regular skill you use. It's passive. You're familiar with passive skills, right? You play a little game. Anyway, I only know that he can overcome the language barrier. This part I didn't understand, but I'm getting the gist. While he was watching your movie there on your PC doing a one-on-one, right? You thought that this ability might be useful to be able to see some kind of thing. Like, for example, you know, other Japanese, Chinese languages come, if you understand me. It's a skill that is in fact somewhat useful. And should he think about what will happen from now on? No, just keep leveling up there and who cares? Let's go on a mission. It's nice playing that little game. But then do you remember that our Yon, your little friend, was going to your house, right? She went, got there, caught his attention. So that day was what happened with, hey, alright? Then out of nowhere, he heard someone knocking on the door, asked who was there, right? He wasn't expecting anyone. Nobody arrived at his house and all that. But anyway, what I know is that a tutorial mission started happening here because the mission said, talk to your colleague Park Hyung. You know, the guy was shocked. She's at my door. Then he got up and said, how is she at my door? He went there and asked from the other side of the door who it was. Then she said, open up. It's me at the door, right? And mentioned that he didn't go to school, just like she had said at the beginning. You remember? Then he got kind of apprehensive, didn't know what to do, right, man? But what should he do? Let's think quickly like this. He managed to greatly increase his skills, right? And if this thing doesn't have a limit, my friend, right? The girl will be in an online dating in China and the guy will be here in Brazil, you know? What a wretched comparison I'm making, man. I'm going crazy here in this mess. And how did he manage, guys, to improve your skills, the small things in your life? He managed to enhance. He thought, I can try to accept the mission. So when she mentioned, let's drink again, and that she doesn't remember anything, man, he got really pissed, you know? Because she pretended she didn't remember anything, dude. That's when he thought about accepting more was tutorial mission, right? And he couldn't stop thinking about it. But man, big guy, I'm going to show you who's in charge. He went to grab the doorknob, right? He has to complete this mission because it's a mission he's going to gain skills, right? Definitely not because he wants to get revenge on her. Maybe to trust. And as far as he remembers, he let her into his house. She touched his bone, had a crying face begging because it was a skill he used. Do you remember the skill of showing looks that the person wants to see? So he was just crying for her because that's what she wanted to see. It's one of his skills. Yeah, it worked. It worked, especially since he wasn't crying. He was pissed off with her. After that, since it was a skill he used for the first time, the system immediately told him that he earned experience bonuses from it and that he literally made a good impression on her. He earned points, I don't know what kind of points and more, whatever it was, and that's how he managed to level up, climbed another level. Not just one more, actually several, right? He started leveling up a lot there. And finally, he reached his last level. I don't know what level he's at, but the level he's already at is good enough for me, man. To go higher than this, the guy, like I said, right, the girl will be there in China and the guy will be here in Brazil. Damn, man, look at the kid's imagination already. Look at the boy's face, right? He's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, dude. Who wouldn't think what I'm thinking, right? Stonks, good idea, right? Then she would ask, well, what did we just do? We shouldn't be doing this, right? She thought it wasn't right, you know, even though at that moment, the damn girl was, you know, only caring about what was happening. What happened? Happened from happening. Then he said, no, you can relax. I'll take responsibility. Don't worry, right? Oh, and about the day she asked about what happened there, he tried to explain to her that, well, she said this, right? And of course she remembers, guys. But what does she say to him? No need to explain. Don't worry. I don't want an explanation because I already know what happened. And since she wasn't able to get up, right? Because
why couldn't she get up, right, guys? He said that, and if she needed help, right, he would help her get up, no problem, but he would say everything is fine. Then back there, she soon put the orbs back saying to him, you promise you're going back to school, right? Go back to school, jerk on me. But the problem, guys, is that just above her head, he didn't pay attention to what she said, right? He saw a little bar that there's a percentage there which I couldn't understand what it is. I still don't know, but I don't understand either. And since he wasn't responding to her at all, just looking at the bar above her head, she asked if by any chance he wasn't going to answer her, right? Then he says, yes, okay, I'll go to school, relax, I won't skip anymore, don't worry. Yeah, I'm going there to school. And he told her, yes, he will show up at school, but where was he looking? Down. He didn't look at her face, right? It's hard to look a woman in the face when you're not wearing sunglasses. You need to put on sunglasses here, man, to be able to deceive women. But anyway, she would leave his house saying she would come back, right? And everything was calm, right, guys? Everything was set to work out, bro. Except that was the first step. He didn't know how to do that, you know, and he didn't even imagine it would work, but it did. His skills of noticing glances and what the person is thinking that he wants and that she wants are working. Everything occurred as planned. It wasn't a dream, really. The system appeared, and surely he has paranormal abilities. This made him happy because just imagine with me, man, the woman in China and the guy in Brazil, man, dude. No, I can't stop thinking about this possibility, guys. Am I the only one thinking like this, or are you too? No. There's no way, man. There's no way. Oh, not to mention he started thinking about the purpose she mentioned of him going to school, right? If he goes to school, guys, and uses his abilities, like all of them really, because he has many, maybe he thinks a bit further, my friends. They only, you know, that school is a place for predation, right? I won't say more. There's a lot he can do there. When the chapter 1, folksy, conquer the university, your next mission, big guy. That's because you have no idea what's at the university. Professor, student with the hair short, a blonde. The colleague is already gone, right? The colleague again can leave it again. There are many things, you know, to do there. Many things to do. Haha. I won't even say anything. This is just the beginning of the fun, right? He even wonders, will it be fun to keep increasing these skills? On one way, right? I'm not even worried about the skills. I'm worried about something else. But apart from that, it's easy. Calm down, you can relax. And then the next day had arrived. As he had said, he went to school, right? He had promised her, and the guys were looking at everyone. So the mission began to load what he was supposed to do. Mission list, there are none in progress, meaning there is no mission for him to do now, you know? Then he starts to think, what do you mean? Chapter 1, conquering the university opened, but there is no mission to do. I didn't understand it either, right? The system got crazy. Then he looks around, sees a bunch of women around, all, you know, 10 out of 10, 20 out of 20. There are some here that, my friend, you look and you say, this one I want in my basement, I don't even care. Goes. Enter the basement. But of course, he was a bit happy, right? But still, he's kind of sad. Where? Without a mission, he can't test his skills, man. Where are the skills? Where are the missions? Then he goes a little further and starts to hear, man, conversations that, like, way out there, the guy can hear. Yeah, the guy's got the telepathy. I don't even know the name of this ability here, but anyway, he hears some girl saying, like, I think he got kind of weird after disappearing for a few days, right? Yeah, he's staring at me here, don't you see? The girls were bad-mouthing him behind his back, but he was hearing everything, even from a distance. Then nato to another girl, you know, the one with short hair, the gloomy one. Well, she's not just beautiful, but also really tough. She told the two girls who were bad-mouthing the protagonist to get out of her way, you know, and the girls just walked away saying, Gainia, sorry. The one with the short hair, guys. Man, you're crazy. This one's worth it, dude. No doubt. Man, what respect. You're nuts. Dude. Then she walks past the protagonist, right? And the guy looks up and down like this. My friend, if you look at a woman like this in the Brazil, man, I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to stay quiet, you know? Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. Boy, this is going on the list. Then out of nowhere, someone says, you'll go blind if you keep looking at the to others like that, right? And then man, who's talking to me like that? Well, it wasn't it, guys? Your little friend who came up to him saying, no, don't stare at others like that or you'll end up getting arrested. You know there are jails here, right? But it's okay. She asks how he's doing today, right? She had her arms crossed, or at least trying to cross them, right? It doesn't delve much into repair there. And he remembers her on that exact day. She talked crap to him and that he also managed to get revenge on her. I don't really know if it was revenge, but alright, right? If it's revenge for him, it doesn't matter much to me. And he even noticed she looks a bit prettier today, right? But she got a bit nervous with him saying, hey, stop looking at me like that here. It seems like you want to impress me. I don't know what. Damn it all, right? She was embarrassed. Then she sat next to him. Since she's a school friend, she always sat next to him, right? Then he stayed quiet, looking over there, and she looked over here, right? Anyway, he was awkward. Then the teacher entered the classroom. Off class saying, the students, let's start the class. And this teacher is tough, huh, mate? The protagonist himself looks at her and sees that this teacher is his current teacher at school. Apparently, she is 37 years old and has a son. In addition to being divorced, she has a son, but is divorced, which means she's also on the list of this virgin here to put in the basement. Not to mention her looks, right, dude? Well, you're crazy, very beautiful to be a university professor, right? Of course, despite all this, compared to your little friend there, it's a bit more impressive, but she's still the teacher, right, teacher? Besides, he sees some opportunities in her too, right? The teacher has things your classmate doesn't have, like the famous experience. Experience only comes with time, guys. You can't get it overnight like that. Since she is a 37-year-old woman and has a son, she is probably the perfect person. Say perfect. LOL. I'm not even going to say anything. Of course, for 10 days a month, from here, the kid's thoughts go like, oh, from down in the hole all the way up, right? Of course, he's eager to get special grades, man. The guy thinks like this. If I do what she wants me to do, I'll get the grade. No, okay, that's a totally correct thought there. And what is this, man? The guy started to think like a psychopath, looking like Kira from Death Note, man. His friend was looking to the side, asking what was happening, and the guy was drooling from thinking so much. Even I would drool, right, my friend? The skills I got now? Not me, I mean the protagonist got, I'm getting. Okay, I still can't do this here yet. When I can, I'll let you know. I won't even warn you. You can just calm. He just thought he wanted the ability to approach the teacher, right? But he didn't get the ability, man. No matter how much he kept staring, waiting for some system window to appear out of nowhere, guess what? Nothing appeared. And since no system window showed up for him to do that, man, how is he going to manage to win over? There's no way. How is he going to win over the university if he can't do that? And suddenly someone calls his attention saying, hey, you there? With your head down. Then he sees that someone is calling him. It's probably the teacher, right? Then she goes and asks if by any chance everything is okay with our main character, asking if he's okay, if he doesn't want to go to the infirmary because he might be unwell, sick. Now he managed to talk to her. And they says, student. She kept looking at him. Man, the kid is so conceited. Just by her looking at him, he thought, wow, she's looking at me, guys. But hold on, folks. Let's take a little into consideration. We have the system of little guy, but he has skills. Does he really need to wait for the system to give him a mission? Or should he just go crazy and use his skills? See, now the guy is stonks, you know? And that's exactly it, man. He's getting tired of waiting. He just has to do what he has to do. Then the teacher keeps asking if he was feeling sick. Then she said that he should go to the hospital, you know, if he wants to. And he says, no, it's all good, teacher. Alright, like out of nowhere, you know? He just says here, aye, showing off with her, you know? And suddenly, the guy goes and activates one of his abilities. His crazy look that attracts any woman in this world, you know? And he said, he just kept focusing on her face. And she looked at him like that and told him to pay attention in class and so on. And I guess and it didn't work out very well, okay? Because his ability to draw attention, he used it and she didn't do anything. And she kept talking about the class, telling everyone to pay attention, and nothing happened. From here, he put his hand on his head saying, well, what do you mean? Why didn't it work? The mission was supposed to work. Hold on. Your friend beside you even called out his name saying, hey, is everything okay with you? You looked at her, suddenly stayed quiet there, but talked to us. He says he had a headache. His head was full too, you know, thinking about a lot of things. It didn't make sense, but he made up an excuse. Then she asked what was going on, but said, no, it's all good. Well, you can relax. It's not me. It has nothing to do with it. She must say, then she looked a
bit confused because she wanted to know what was happening since she deserves to know what's going on, but he thanks her for the concern and it's nothing to do with her. Stay in the your friend. And he sees that she was also a bit quiet there, right guys? So what does he do to get her attention? He calls her by name and take the opportunity to use your skill on her because he wanted to have a notion of why the skill didn't work on your teacher, right? You never know, right? Then he looked at her face. Then she asked if by any chance he said something. Then she looked directly into your eyes there. Stayed quiet without saying anything. And when he asked something, I don't know what, dude, about no. But the ability did work with her, you know? And simply something intrusive started activating in her and he realized that now things were a bit different. But why did it work with her? What is the motivation for something to work on a person? Tell us, what's the secret? What's the rate of Oh, who pays here? That's because I wanted to know why it didn't work on the teacher, right? There's some reason behind all this? Oh, and speaking of your little friend, she quickly started pulling his shirt, right? Out of nowhere, you know? It's because he used the ability on her, then he got scared. Whoa, man. Now we're screwed, man. But the only thing she said to him was, I'm feeling strange. Is there any way you can help me and take me to the infirmary quickly? Wow, what does he do now, guys? The kid was even lost, all red, looking more like a blue pineapple than a yellow one. Blue pineapple rather than yellow. Congratulations to me. Oh, speaking of that, do you remember the one with the short hair? The intense crazy one there? The toughest in school? Yes, my friends, she sits on top of the protagonist's classmate's desk. The protagonist's mother, right? And man, to give you an idea, she saw everything that happened. The way the protagonist looked at her and how out of nowhere the girl changed. Stuttering with expression there. Dude, she was just like, what the hell is this, man? This one here, I'm already adding to the list too. It's probably the next one.